what's it called? With Division 9, actually, a lot of their members and community being here today, as they are a podcast. One thing that actually came up on the news that I'm actually kind of curious about, Chris, is people are saying that, you know how in the second qualifying session of 3, there, the time that you would set on whichever tires, those are the tires that you would use if you finish in the top 10 for the third qualifying.
Exactly.
And they've actually apparently taken away that rule there. So, if that's true, do you think that would impact the Formula One in a positive way or a negative way, or do you think it would just be neutral?
Well, given the new 2022 regulation changes, if you're referring to the real Formula One cars, I would believe that given it for qualifying 3, there won't be a fixed set of tire. You know that the top 10 must start with the tires that they have finished on during qualifying 2. I would believe that this is something that we need to learn. We still need to learn because the layouts of the car will be in a way that. The dirty air doesn't impact them that much, so slipstreaming would be more efficient. So that would be one of them. And the second thing is that the tires are not the same Pirelli tires that we know until this date. I think they have changed the tires to I think lower inch tires. I'm not sure if they are 16-inch, and
they should. I believe they should be around. I think they were going to be around the 18-inch. Like 18, how they are.
All right.
Is it 18? Is either 18 or is either 16 or 18? But I know it's the same size as the F2 cars. But with them changing the F1 cars, are they also changing the F2 cars? Because I'm not too sure about that.
I'm not 100% sure, but I would believe so. Yes, I would believe that they would change the F2 cars as well. But it's a thing that we will need to wait and see because we don't know yet. You know, it's something new. And I would believe that although the tires would be slightly slower, they would provide more and more spectating things, you know?
Yeah, but let's say we are ready to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The engines are roaring, the crowd is cheering, and away we are for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Division 3, Round 3. And a good start from Yuka's Ram. Ethan's going to be looking on the inside and take the lead and pushes Yuka's off the track. Going to have to cut turn 2 and push their way back to second place. Niller is now trying to battle going side by side here. A very tough part to go side by side as we just saw Niller crash into the wall. And there's carnage. Oh, Ford. Okay, Niller did get a 5-second time penalty for crashing into Zachman there at the beginning, but do you think that he could have done anything better there with the positioning?
Well, when it comes to Niller, I would believe that Niller, what he did was a little bit too ambitious, in my opinion. That turn, you can never go too wide, unfortunately. And I'm noticing that Menno has disqualified himself from the race. I believe that he has informed me as an admin that he wouldn't do the race, but I suggested him to at least come in, serve the quali ban, and then retire from the race, you know, so at least he has the quali ban done and dusted. And I'm noticing Niller has some damage as well, and time penalty to serve already.
Yeah, Niller was the one that crashed out at the beginning.
Yeah.
Niller was going side by side with Yukas into turn 4, and getting a little bit of oversteer. Well, not oversteer. Actually, I'm going on the throttle a little bit too early there, as we do have a 3-way battle here with Daedalus, PJ, and Strong Sauce near the back of the grid, and we're just waiting to see because Zajman actually has to make their way into the pit lane. Same with XD, DRSD, and was cutting the corner there into the pit lane, and both of them getting speeding into the pit lane penalties. So they're going to be serving that at the end of the race or the next time they have a pit stop. But now Ethan Haynes still leads the way by more than a second from Yikas. Darth Assassin close in third, with Brad, Kent, and Flames battling it out for that third place position. Then we have TSM and lead in 7th, Noxer in 8th, Daedalus in 9th with PJ and Strong Sauce close behind, and then Mosh with no front wing on that car is going to be having to make a pit stop in the next coming of laps.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. And we have a crasher. We have TSM Elite. Ooh, he needs to stay there. He needs to rejoin safely.
And as he was just about to back up into Mosh, but actually went back onto the to first gear into the wall to not make another collision, and there have lost the left end plate. So not as bad as the drivers up ahead, but it's still not good. As we are seeing Strong Sauce and PJ go side by side into turn 26, now towards turn 27, and Strong Sauce makes their way into 9th place on those set of mediums.
One needs to mention, Justin, that Strong Sauce was the only driver to start with the medium tires for this track, so he still needs to make that one mandatory stop, but he will have a tire advantage in the end unless a safety car occurs.
Yeah, so let's see if their pit strategy comes into play here. Still no safety car in play just yet, and it looks like Kent is actually slowing down and losing pace behind Brad, which is giving Flames Assassin the opportunity to have DRS as well, but could be battling them into the long left-hander. Kent goes very wide there, gives the space to Flames, and we have an Aston Martin spun around with Brad Dunks spinning out on that long left-hander. And now, in the middle of the track, has to back out into the wall and cuts off a Ferrari!
No, Brad Kunz, no! That's an unsafe rejoin into the track.
And he leaves the session.
No, that would be direct.
Brad, that is outrageous scenes right there, Brad. That is not right. You can't do stuff like that. But now Kent actually gets past Ethan Haynes, same with Flames. So Ethan Haynes actually has no front wing at this point. And now we also have a battle for 6th place. Actually now 7th with Daedalus and Strong Sauce. Strong Sauce pushing on those set of mediums. Going to be diving on the inside, almost 3 wide into turn 27. Oh, and we have an Aston Martin spun around on the final corner. Strong Sauce couldn't do anything about that, and now has to sacrifice 2 positions from Daedalus and PJ as PJ makes their way into the pit lane for crashing into the side of Brad.
Yeah, Brad Kunz's car is still there. And it has impeded greatly Mosherdit. Ooh! And Mosherdit crashes into TSM Elite, and TSM Elite also crashed, which has caused the safety car.
And that's the safety car. So we're actually going to go on board with DRSD to see the damage there. And you can see both of the cars on the right side of the track there. Very unfortunate to see, but the safety car is now out. And with Ethan Haynes actually having front wing damage, Yika's gap between them and Darth Assassin is now going to be from 5 seconds to within a second once the safety car comes in. But we also have a rule to please make sure during a safety car, while the safety car is out, please give the driver at least a second of space on the track. Once race control says that the safety car is coming in, you can then bunch up if you would like. But, yeah, oh, thank you again from Blenlow. Also, during the safety car, do not go into AI. You are not allowed to go to AI mode during the safety car. But as we did see, Yikas makes their way into the pit lane with Darth Assassin, same with Kent and Flames. And it looks like Yikas is going to be coming out of the pits just ahead on a new set of mediums. Or is Noxer going to be staying out? Nope, Noxer is making their way in. And Daedalus is staying out on those softs. But are they going to be ahead of Yikas? No, they're not. Potentially ahead of Darth Assassin, but has to respect the Delta. And does. But the thing is, this actually played into Strong Sauce strategy at this point. Starting on those mediums, making those mediums last a little bit longer. But amazing stuff. Chris, if you are speaking, you are muted, my man.
No, I am here. I'm basically writing to the chat with regards to Brad Kuhn's car, and it's unfortunate, but he has done a lot of illegal things that has caused the safety car. It was a sequence of events, unfortunately, where he has rejoined the track in an illegal mode. He has caused a crash to PJ. He left the session. He left the car in AI, and that AI has greatly impeded Mosherted, which has also impeded him into a crash, unfortunately as well. So, yeah.
That is so unfortunate to see. I don't know what was going through their mind at the end of the day, but this race still continues as we're watching just now. Zajman make their way out of the pits, DRSD into the pit lane, and Zajman actually served both of their time penalties here today, and the Aston Martin safety car still leads the way. All of the drivers actually doing very well, except for Flames, who needs to give more space to the driver ahead. It is a safety car, more than 1 second gap that you need to give. So ease off. Same with you, Ethan Haynes. You should know better. And I don't need to say this, guys. It's part of the rules. Once the racer control says the safety car is allowed to come in, that is when you get within the 1 second gap. And Ethan Haynes is still not listening. Probably doesn't have the stream on their end.
Ethan, you need to leave that 1 second gap, please. Oh, alright, he listened.
Now they're listening there. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so we just have a rule just so there's no conflict with the 5 second time penalty during the safety car. And I mean, there is still potential for that happening, but only when the safety car comes in, and it'll be easier to manage that type of time penalty and see exactly what happened there. But yeah, just everyone just needs to give respect of the track to the drivers ahead and behind, and until the race control comes through, that is when you go balls to the walls. But we're still waiting on Brad's AI, unfortunately, and also DRSD to catch up with the safety car.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we already know someone that's going to be going to Division 9 at this point, eh?
Yeah, Sikas, he has found himself in P1 again. I believe he was in P2, because Ethan has changed his tires as well. I believe he has more than one stop. Let me see.
Yeah,
Ethan,
because actually...
you need to keep that 1 second gap, Ethan. It's still not the end of the safety car. So I need to see the stops. And Ethan, yeah, he has stopped once only. So I think somewhere in the process there was a spin or something.
Yeah, earlier on in the race, I think it was around lap 4 or lap 5. No, lap 4 or lap 3, one of those two. Ethan Haynes was losing positions to Kent and also Flames Assassin after having no front wing. And then sorry, Darth Assassin and who was it? Was Darth Assassin and someone else? I want to say Daedalus, as he did have his front wing completely taken off, so it looks like they crashed prior on in those laps. But still waiting on the drivers to catch up with the pack to let the safety car be in. And I think the race control has come through. Or has it not?
I don't believe it did. I don't believe it did. I think the safety car will go for... Oh, yes, now it is. Now it is.
Oh, that's a very late call there. That's a serious late call. Let's see how Yikas takes this. Waiting for the safety car to go in. And... just still waiting, just making the drivers behind a little bit more compact. And it's going for it now, going on to ERS as well. And a few people that have lost is going to be Daedalus, as we see Strong Sauce on the inside. They're going to go side by side.
Ooh, no,
and a super late braking there from Strong Sauce pushes Daedalus off the track. And when they try to rejoin, it just messed up everyone in its wake.
Yeah, down there's a little bit of carnage from Flames Assassin, Daedalus.
Forward again as well with Daedalus and Flames Assassin still trying to go side by side in Sector 1, and it's just messing up completely.
Yeah, It seems that the safety car restart wasn't the safest of restarts that we have seen in life. There's
No, but look
Danilus
at
Sajman
this.
and ooh, so close.
And it looks like Zajman actually needs to give the space back to Brad after having an illegal overtake, and Brad is not going past. And there we go, Zajman lets him pass now. An illegal overtake on Daedalus puts him down to 12th place after being close to 5th.
Yeah.
But now look at the gap that Yikas has put himself in compared to Darth Assassin. A huge, huge gap.
So,
and look at this, Ethan Haynes actually pushes Darth Assassin into the wall, and now they are stuck on the wall together as DPR Niller has to give the space there, and Ethan Haynes has mussed up his and the driver behind's opportunity, going super slow and almost causing mayhem once again.
Ooh.
Both of them are going to be making their way into the pit lane, I do presume. Yep, there
I
they are
presume
now.
that.
Same with Noxer, actually.
Ooh.
What
we
has
have-
happened here?
Yeah, we have seen some incidents. I mean, this is a track that is prone to these incidents, and of course, maybe the Division 1, the Elite Division, may be less prone.
Hold on. Sorry to cut you off there, but the people at home are going to enjoy this. Zajman gets the overtake on Brad's AI and makes their way up to 7th. Is going to be pushing to 6th place on Kent, who recently in the qualifying gave him a 5-second time penalty for not giving space, where Kent should have been given that that time penalty, that position grid penalty, but it was given to Zajman, and Zajman is just eyeing down that Williams, trying to get the revenge and get the overtake. But with Kent getting DRS, well, actually potentially getting DRS, but also getting slipstream from DRSD, and now it's going to be using the ERS, going to be trying to make the overtake done, and there was a gap there. He pushes it in, and he actually was able to get through DRSD, a very ballsy move, but was able to get it done at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's quite a ballsy overtake, but it was done in a safe manner, I must say.
Yep, but there you go. DRS has now been enabled, and Kent actually squeezes DRSD into the wall there. Kent just going very, very aggressive here. But let's see how DRSD is going to pay out as he's looking on the inside. Kent on the outside into turn 1, and DRSD was able to get the position back from Kent Agent. And it looks like this battle for 5th is not going to go anywhere, as we're still seeing Kent try to push and trying to keep within that distance to get DRS. Strong Sauce is going to actually be getting DRS on DPR Niller. But let's see if he's going to be able to get the move done. Has the ERS, the DRS, and the slipstream. Going to try and catch up, but it was going to be too much. It was going to be too much of a ballsy move to dive into that long left-hander. Same with Kent as they both back out. The two Williams drivers backing out of each respected battle. And now PJ is caught up with Brad's AI. Not having DRS, but with the AI being a lot slower than the driver. He's going to be getting that, but look at this now. Strong Sauce going side by side with Niller on the long Sector 2 straight. And Strong Sauce was able to get the job done, but now Niller is going to be getting DRS. So he'll be able to take that position back unless he becomes tactical with it and stays behind until the finishing straight. But now look at this. Yikas is now 10 seconds ahead of Flames.
Ooh.
Looks like Yikas, this is easy. This is too easy for him at this point. He's gonna definitely get that promotion.
Definitely. Probably he's gonna get kind of disqualified within inverted commas by the admins, so that he can move up into the Division 2. Rightly so. He's doing a great job. So there's no disrespect to the guy, but definitely a guy that shows that he is promising for the Division 2, and as we have mentioned earlier, it's for us admins to keep a balanced division. So if Ikas is doing a 1 second per lap better than anybody else, it would mean that he would need to move into a higher division.
Yep, and challenge people that would actually give him a challenge. But as this point stands, now it's going to be a three-way battle for that fourth place as Niller is starting to slow down against Strong Sauce. And it's going to be losing out on DRS, where Kent will be getting DRS from DPR Niller. And looks like DRSD is actually losing out a bit. Oh, and Strong Sauce has now caught up with Flames Assassin. It's going to be getting DRS, and it's going to be making their way past the Red Bull into second place.
Who's going to be a ballsy move? Oh, now he's playing the patient game, going into turn 27. He's still following Flames Assassin. He still has the DRS, but he doesn't have the ERS to make it. But let's see if we're going to arrive at turn 1. It's going to be a little bit of a late move. And he doesn't make the move yet. Flames Assassin defends it successfully, going slightly off track. Oh, and Strong Sauce getting the spin.
Yeah, I just saw that into the wall. Zoxman actually hits the wall as well on the exit of turn 2, and Strong Sauce has been disqualified for
unlucky.
taking the wrong way. But to be honest with you, that's not his fault at the end of the day. He was staying out of the way from the drivers up ahead. That is unfortunate for Strong Sauce. I think that's the wrong call there from Codemasters Marshals. But Strong Sauce, you are now, the game decided, you are now out of this race. Execute Order 66 for Strong Sauce, as he has been disqualified from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. I mean, the game needs to improve when it comes to these tiny things. Where Strong Sauce was doing the right thing actually to let the drivers pass. Maybe one small suggestion: when a car spins that way, I would strongly suggest not to drive backwards actually, because if you drive backwards for a few seconds, it would automatically disqualify you. So what you need to do is, when the car spins that way, you stop the car completely, let the drivers pass, and then make the donut back into the correct position. That way, the game shouldn't disqualify you.
Yeah, but it's still unfortunate to see. But now Kent has saved up. His ERS has the DRS, has the slipstream. He's going to be looking on the inside of turn 1. A late dive from the Williams driver pushes Flames Assassin almost off track, but was able, very aggressive there. But Flames Assassin is now going to try and go with a switchback. Going to take back second place and give Kent a little bit of...
They're gonna play the switcheroos. They're playing switcheroos actually, or maybe maybe Kent Agent. What he did maybe was that he gave the position back because he has forced Flames Assassin off the track. So if it was the case, it was GG for him, because that's a clean move actually. But it seems that now the race is getting a little bit more interesting. Of course, there's Yikas, who is like a Hamilton and Verstappen level. Oh, and Kent Agent spun the car.
Yep, but let's see. Did he move out the way just in time? Yes, he did. And now your man of the man, your main driver today, I should say, not the man of the match. This is not football. Has now gone past Kent Agent.
Yeah, there's Zajman there in P5. Where he should have started actually. So he qualified in P5, so he's back in P5 and back into contention. Maybe the Zajman fans now are raging in a good way. Yeah, they're mentioning Zajman here. Going into turn 27, Kent Agent doesn't seem to have any damage whatsoever, because the way he spun, he has touched the wall from the back part of the car. Maybe he didn't have any damage, but Kent Agent now is making the move over Zajman and takes that P5 back. So Zajman needs to follow up on Kent Agent. And then
so it's a back and forth battle.
Yeah.
It's good versus evil when it comes to the chat. But let's see, because Kent is now pulling away from Zajman at the beginning of Sector 1.
Yeah, and I'm noticing that they are slowly gaining over Niller and XDDRSD actually. So it's gonna be almost a 4-way fight within a couple of laps.
Yeah, and Zajman was almost getting a bit impatient, was about to look for a dive on the inside, but was able to not hit Kent's rear end. And Kent, this is where he spun out last time, and he does it again! What? 2 laps in a row, crashes out into the wall, and now has to move out the way for PJ as they are making their way down.
Yeah, but he seems that he's okay continuing the race. I believe he has some massive wing damage because it seems that the car is struggling to turn.
Yeah.
Or maybe the tires are
have some
overheated.
front wing damage.
Yeah, it seems so. It seems so. Unfortunate for Kent. It was gonna be a 4-way fight, but you know the race is still long. There's still 11 laps to go. Anything can happen, and there are still 12 drivers on the track. 12 drivers.
But I do gotta.
Except for Brad Kun, so it's 11 drivers on track, which is good for a Jeddah track.
Yeah, but is it just me, or with that whole situation, did it feel like deja vu? I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it. It just feels like deja vu for some reason with Kent. It's like he did it twice in a row. It's just,
he did it at the same place. He basically did it at the same place.
And
to be
felt
fair,
like it was the same place, the exact same way. I just don't know. It felt like deja vu. Did it feel like deja vu for you too?
Yeah, that turn, what it has, that turn is that if you really slam the throttle too early, the car will automatically spin. So you will need to half throttle that part until you complete the corner. When you complete the corner, you can slam the throttle easily without having the car spun. This track is so flowy that in a lot of turns you cannot go full throttle. You need to half throttle the car and get the flow going. And also this track is not renowned for having a lot of lines in terms of how many lines you have to adapt into a corner. There's only one specific perfect line, and if you deviate from that line or maybe throttle a little bit more than usual, you will automatically spin, because that's the way the car is shaped up, unfortunately, for this track. So a lot of patience.
But look at this, Zajman's gonna be having the DRS and the ERS trying to catch up with DPR Niller into turn 1, but it would have been an ambitious dive to go there, but is gonna have to be a little bit patient and gets the better traction at the exit of turn 2 into turn 3. Now
he's
heading towards turn 4.
Basically using a lot of ERS when it comes to Zajman. That's why he was gaining so much. On the other hand, Niller, he's still on 8-9% of ERS, so he can mangle with the ERS. On the other hand, Zajman is on 38%, and he's using it right now to make the dive, but not yet. He's still very close.
Still there.
Side by side with full ARS using it. Niller is trying to defend for his life here. And Zajman might need to back home. Zajman. No, Zajman.
But was that Zajman's fault there actually? Because Niller knew that Zajman was next to him.
Yep,
and he just went to the left to go on the racing line.
Yep, 100% on track as well for Zajman, which is illegal. He caused a safety car and the retirement for DPR Niller. I was on board with Zajman, and I would, if it was me, I would have backed off from that corner for sure, because eventually it was only a 1-car pass there, and it was gonna be a very ambitious for Zajman to make it 2-way in that corner. And it's unfortunate for Niller, because I know that Niller has played the Joker, so that's a double whammy for the guy. Yeah, that's
worse timing on that as well. But actually, Yekas is staying out on those old set of softs.
They're not old. They're
actually, are they? Oh no, he actually just came out of the pits. Yeah. Never mind. He is just so far ahead that I looked at the time difference on the intervals, and I thought that he was staying out on those laps.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but we'll have to soon find out what the what was it? The stewards decide at the end of the day. But yeah, but now Zajman's podium in contention now, as they don't have any time penalties where the 3 drivers ahead do. So
yeah, he will definitely have admin. He will definitely have admin penalties. He will definitely have admin penalties for that incident. Unfortunately, I mean, resetting on track is automatic 20-second time penalty and a warning from the stewards, and of course we are not considering the outcome of the incident itself with DPR Nala. So I'm gonna keep it that way for now. I hope that Zajman continues the race, and I believe it's still an auto points if he finishes the race, because there are only 10 drivers remaining at the moment. Of course we are excluding Braskons because his car is on AI, because he left the session, and hence there are only 10 drivers remaining. So whatever penalty Zajman takes, unless he doesn't finish the race, he will still get points. So let's see.
Yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see, as we are looking at the safety car restart. And for some reason, someone compared this to Spain and South Korea World Cup 2002.
I'm not getting the meaning or the...
Yeah, I'm not getting it either.
Maybe they can interact a little bit more, the followers here. Maybe they can explain to us why it is a Korea versus Spain. I know that in 2002, Korea versus Spain World Cup, it was a game where it was decided by a referee, unfortunately, and of course
I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. Because just above that, QTA just said referee scandals.
Yeah, so I would assume that, but I'm not getting the connection with what it has to do with this, unfortunately. Maybe they can explain this to us. Oh, okay, so there's Testercles. So I have pronounced this correctly.
Oh, that was me, Testicles.
Yeah,
like
Testicles. But you last week, this was the guy that made you say that word.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. No. We're not going to talk about that.
So Testicles said that Zajman is innocent. All right, so, well, we're gonna leave that for after the race. It's like the stewarding has noted the incident and it will be discussed after the race. But at the moment we're still with 10 drivers remaining, and I'm noticing that there are some guys not keeping that 1 second gap. So whoever is watching here, except for Braskons of course, because the car is AI mode, whoever is, you need to keep that 1 second gap. And I believe that almost all the drivers are doing that.
Yeah, but now the safety car could be coming in this lap. And it looks is it?
I think we might have a late call again. I would
Actually,
believe
no,
that it
because
would...
look how far Ethan Haynes is back.
Yeah, but I think he would be able to rejoin at the exact same time, but it seems that the safety car is not coming in this lap. So for Ethan, I believe if he has the ability, he can use another pit stop with even fresher tires. If it's
Where we're
possible,
actually
of
seeing
course.
Daedalus actually got into an incident with Brad's AI. So looks like the Brad's AI has really messed up a lot of drivers here.
Yeah.
Not just the AI, but when he was in the car as well. So
Yeah, it's I mean, I was following the Delta Pace chat, and he said that he tried to pause the game and leave the session to make his car ghosted, and of course.
but there's no ghosting.
Yeah, no, this league has no such ghosting thing, and I know that there are a lot of drivers saying that ghosting is required even in esports, but for us, it would lose a little bit of the reality out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you want to give it like exactly. You want to get it a little bit more realistic, and you want to give these drivers a challenge. You want to really test and improve the drivers' capabilities of actually having a clean race. Because in real life, if you see someone like that, like someone spun out and crashed out like that, of course they're not going to just turn into a ghost to let other drivers through. The car is still going to be there on the track.
Yeah, For sure, for sure. Of course, this has been noted by the stewards, so I'm taking notes. Unfortunately, I'm noting the Zajman incident. I'm noting the Bratskons
Brad.
incident as well. And
Also, maybe potentially with Kent Agent during the qualifying.
yep, and that as well.
There's also, and I think that's pretty much it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yes,
Everyone
yes,
else
I
has
agree.
either
I agree.
spun out on their own or just something else. But now Noxer is so far behind. And there you go, the safety car is now going to be in this lap.
Yep, now the cars can bunch up and they can stay under the 1 second rule, so it would be acceptable. Of course, you still can't touch the other driver in front because you would get the 5-second time penalty plus another 5-second time penalty from the stewards because you haven't obeyed the required distance to not to touch the other car. So let's see how this will fare because the safety car is still coming in. The drivers are bunching up big time, with Yika still swerving the car. And I think he can start race if he wants to. He can set up the pace. And now he has started. With XDDRS is taking a slightly better advantage out of Yikas. Going into turn 1 and Yikas undoubtedly keeps the first place. Yikas has a penalty.
Or does he? Or does he? Because DRSD was close to go side by side. PJ, actually, look at this. Ethan Haynes coming from last place, going all the way up to 8th, and Daedalus going down to 11th.
Yeah, there's Bratkun's car still impeding PJ, unfortunately. Bratkun's AI car. And PJ trying to keep it as clean as possible.
And you know that PJ just wants to get past the AI as soon as possible. Goes for the super late dive and gets the job done. PJ39. Amazing overtake there. Same with Daedalus. Now was about to go side by side with Brad's AI. But as it stands now, still behind. Zashman was able to get the move on Flames Assassin, pushing into the podium positions for the time being until the stewards' reports comes through.
Lovely. I think the fans are like, Zajman, come on.
Yeah, I don't doubt that whatsoever. Yeah, but look at this now. Daedalus trying to get past the teammate as well. And Nox are catching up with Flames Assassin. We have a 5-way battle for 4th place.
Ooh. It's gonna get tasty, eh? So.
Yep, as we might see it now early, as Noxer is using the ERS and Slipstream, was about to try and go on the outside, and Flames Assassin breaks super early and gives Noxer the position, and now they're going to go side by side once again, but Noxer gets the better traction out of the exit and pushes his way up to 4th place. Oh, but look at that, Darth Assassin takes out Flames Assassin!
Yeah.
Oh, and PJ almost crashed into that. Now let's see if he actually takes out Brad's AI. No, he does not. God, no! Get Brad out of here!
You were hoping for Brad's car.
I was hoping because Brad's AI is messing up a lot of drivers.
Yeah, but now he's last place.
Assassin.
Now he's last place, so it should be okay for Bratkun's car now.
Yeah, because it was Assassin versus Assassin,
I
and
need
Darth comes out on top, but that was too ambitious.
Sorry to interrupt, but I need to give a huge praise for PJ for that reflection, for that reflexes, because he barely missed the spawn car there, and so GG to PJ right there. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, well done to PJ, but now we are just waiting for the race control to say that the DRS is going to be enabled, and I think it could be enabled right now. No, actually, Yikas gets the fastest lap's going to be enabled at the end of the next lap. But now look at the... Oh, actually, no, it is. There it goes. Race control. DRS has now been enabled. Ethan Haynes pushes from last place on the safety car restart into 4th. Kent goes up, tries to battle with Ethan Haynes around turn 1 and 2, and falls behind. Noxer had to back out of that to not create any sort of incidents. And Darth Assassin crashes on the track. No, is that a crash? Is that a crash?
I think he retired. I think he retired on the pits.
No, I think he retired in the pits. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a big shame, to be fair, because I think if
No, I thought you were about to say something else.
you know, it's a big shame because if he did another 2 laps or 1 lap, he would count within the points because he would have finished the 90% requirement of the race. But we're still in lap 21. We've still not exceeded 90% of the race, so he wouldn't get points this way.
Yeah, so very unfortunate
Ooh.
to Darth Assassin from making their way into the pit lane and retiring. But now look at this, Zajman is actually struggling to keep up with DRSD. DRSD putting on the turbo, but Zajman has an ace up his sleeve with the DRS and is catching up to the Mercedes of DRSD. I just had a mid-stroke there, mid-sentence. And it looks like Zajman is not going to be getting it just yet. And DRSD trying to break the slipstream, but the DRS with the ERS and a little bit of the slipstream is just too powerful here at Saudi Arabia. But for the time being, DRSD keeps the position, and Zajman just slightly taps the rear end as Daedalus has spun out on the final corner. Let's see if Daedalus will take one for the team and take out Brad's AI.
Oh,
No
so
pass
close.
move out the way.
But yet so far.
Come on, Daedalus, you could have done it for us.
But I think Daedalus knows that he needs to do the 90%. I hope he doesn't retire. I hope he doesn't.
Well, I'm pretty sure he heard us in here in the comms box. So I'm pretty sure they will come back out of the pit lane.
Yeah, it seems
now
that he's
look at
continuing.
this.
It seems he's gonna
Yep.
continue. So
But
GG
look
to
at this, look
Daedalus.
how close these two drivers are getting for second place. It's obvious that Yikas is going to take the win here. Could be his final race at Division 3. But,
Yeah, he would do
just
it
look how
gracefully.
close.
And we can note that all the drivers have penalty except for Daedalus. But I'm not gonna count Bratskons. So
Yep.
for each.
Oh!
That's
Zajman hits the wall twice there and loses no front wing. Wow, I thought he would
Oh.
lose at least an end plate there.
I think he has an end plate though, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the game doesn't show it, but we wouldn't know. Yeah, he has both end plates out. So, at least from what I can see.
He must have some sort of wing damage because,
Yeah.
as you can see, struggling around turn 2. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be some sort of front wing disformity.
We will know
on
with a
that
couple of
AlphaTauri.
seconds because this sector 1 is so topsy-turvy. He would lose a lot of time now. So
And you can
let's
already
see.
see it. Look at the time difference. From around 3/10 to now 9/10. Yeah, he has to have some sort of front wing damage. But for as it stands now, is still keeping the pace with that DRS in his disposal. But how long is that DRS going to keep him up?
We'll need to wait and see. He seems that he's still doing. I mean, he's still mangling the car. XDDRST is doing his best to keep Zajman at bay, but Zajman, despite that little nudges in the wall, he's still coming back at XDDRSD.
Yeah, so he might have actually just shook it off, that little bit of damage, and is still keeping the pace. Zajman having the heart of a lion after hitting the wall a few times, easing off so he can get the DRS into turn 1. A smart play here, but taking a super wide line there, so there's going to be a little bit of damage,
Yep.
but as little as he can manage. As now DRSD is now completely out of ERS. Zajman has the DRS and the ERS. Going to be looking on the outside, and the door closes and has to back out of it. And slips and goes off the track. Ethan Haynes going to go up to 3rd, and Kent is going to go up to 4th. Zajman still struggling trying to get back onto the track with cool tires. And now this is going to give Noxer the opportunity to make their way into 5th place. And you can see Zajman trying to catch up, still has the ERS enabled.
Yeah, I'm noticing Zajman is still using ERS on Sector 1. I think it would be a bad idea, to be fair, because Sector 1 is so topsy-turvy. And
Yep,
he's still
as we
touching
just
the
saw
wall.
him
Yeah.
hit the wall again.
So he must have damage this time.
Most likely, but let's see. Stays within the wall still using that ERS, might be having an ERS problem on that Formula One car, and it's just not going to stop using the ERS, trying to catch up as much as he can, but it's not going to be enough because on the final lap, as we are seeing Kent come around the not on the final lap, the penultimate lap is what I meant to say, going to be coming to the final lap, but now.
Yeah, they're side by side.
Kent and Ethan Haynes. Kent on the outside, Ethan Haynes on the inside, and that DRS is going to be super powerful here. But now, is that going to be too early of a move? Yeah.
Ethan will have the last word in this part. Ethan will have the last word. But it seems that Kent is pulling a distance, so it's going to be very, very difficult for Ethan to get that place back.
Yeah, but now let's see this. Is Zajman going to spin out once again? Oh, we actually have DRSD spinning out!
Oh, that's so unfortunate for the guy.
So unfortunate.
He was going to be my driver of the day. Oh, but it's unlucky. I mean, there's still one lap to go.
I didn't know what that moon was just then. But we're going to segue away from that one.
I'm feeling bad for the guy, you know, because he has done a very, very good job. I mean, before he spun out, he was in P2 and he has overtook 7 cars from the start of the race. And that
I know, but it's just the sound
that came out of your mouth. I feel so bad for the guy. Yeah,
it was I feel so bad. So, like, what in the world?
Like, no.
But as it stands now, Yikas is having a dominant race here today in Division 3. It's going to go around turn 26, now towards turn 27 for the final time here today at Saudi Arabia. Taking around the final corner is going to be celebrating a Portuguese win in the Haas. Going to be catching the checker flag first, going slowly side to side in celebration as he wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Lovely stuff from Yikas.
Second.
Now there's some time penalties to be added, so let's see how this will finish. Kent Agent on paper in P2, Ethan in P3, Zajman, the legend for
P4.
For his fans in P4, of course, before any stewarding comes in place. But then there's DRXT, P5. He was my driver of the day, but so unfortunate for him in the last lap. And then there's PJ, who was my second driver of the day, to be fair, because he has also overtook 7 cars from the start of the race, and he had quite a clean race, apart from that unfortunate event.
Haynes, to be honest with you, I would say Ethan Haynes, because during the last safety car was all the way at the back, and we were waiting on them to catch up back with the pack, was able to easily get past the 2 Aston Martin teammates in the first couple of corners. And just pushing their way to get a podium at the end of the day. Ethan Haynes is going to be my driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great race. Maybe he was a little bit unfortunate as well. So yeah, I would agree with you as well.
It was leading before, because it was leading, and of course, Codemaster's driver of the day goes to Zajman after getting that 5-place grid penalty, and I know the chat's going to be happy about that. Yep.
Driver of the day for the Codemasters game. My driver of the day, to be fair, is PJ, and I'm specifically mentioning PJ because he's that kind of guy that he's not the fastest guy on track, but he always finishes the race, whether it's P8, P9, P10, P whatever. But yeah, now that sounded very wrong. P whatever. But
well, I mean, then you know what we could say then.
Yeah.
We could say that he is probably in contention for driver of the week then, or driver of the month, because he's just been very consistent finishing the race after also having that incident with Brad having PJ crash out on Brad during that long left-hander after Brad spun out.
Yeah, that is so true. But considering everything, I think it's a big GG to all the drivers that have finished the race. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, we all know that it's so hard to race in it, let alone finish the race, of course, in a lower division than the rest of the divisions. So it would be a big GG to the guys here.